The American Civil Liberties Union of Indiana is suing the Vigo County Sheriff and the Vigo County Commissioners for what they say are overcrowded conditions at the county's jail. The legal director of the ACLU says he and the county sheriff and commissioners agreed in a 2002 settlement to limit the jail's population to 268 people, but says the jail has consistently surpassed that limit, creating harsh conditions for the inmates. The ACLU says the sheriff and the county commissioners need to find a solution, whether that's creating a system to move people through the jail more quickly or expanding the facilities. A spokesman from the Vigo County Sheriff's Office says the sheriff cannot comment because he has not received any official paperwork regarding the lawsuit. And Indiana's unemployment rate remained steady in July. Indiana's 8.4% jobless rate is a full point worse than the national average, but better than all the state's neighbors except Ohio. The state didn't gain any ground despite adding 5,900 private sector jobs. The unemployment rate is also unchanged from a year ago. Since then, it's fluctuated between 8.3 and 8.7%. And this week marks the 60th anniversary of what's known as K-Day, August 20th, 1953, the day the press was allowed to report on the findings of Dr. Alfred Kinsey's research on sexuality in women. It was the first published research of its kind, and as WTIU's Claire McInerney reports, it exposed many of the myths of what women are as sexual beings.
In 1948, Kinsey's report on sexual behavior in the human male sold more than 200,000 copies. 5 years later, he knew the reaction to his book on females would be even more intense. Now keep in mind, this was 1953, when Lucy and Ricky Ricardo on I Love Lucy were sleeping in separate beds. He invited the press from around the world to come to Bloomington. They were given an advance copy of the book, time to read it, and then time to write their articles. Kinsey read every article before approving them for publication. Every paper in America had something to say about the book, and there were columns and editorials written around the globe. Kinsey's reports busted many of the myths regarding women and sex.
There was an idea or a myth that women were not really sexual, that they had sex for reproductive purposes, that they weren't having sex before marriage, that they weren't having extramarital affairs, that they weren't experiencing pleasure the way men were. And that wasn't exactly what came out of the book.
When Kinsey's book on women went on sale in mid-September, the public already knew a lot about it from all of the articles that had been published. It went on to become a bestseller like the volume on males. For WTIU, I'm Claire McInerney.
And a quick look at our weather forecast. Mostly clear skies tonight, lows around 60 degrees. For tomorrow, mostly cloudy, highs in the mid-80s. For WTIU News, I'm Sara Wittmeyer.